Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a flip through of Colouring Heaven, the Busy World special. So this is issue 64. This features 40 intricate designs from Colin Thompson. Now, if you're not familiar with Colouring Heaven, this is a UK published magazine. We buy it in the UK. You can get it in supermarkets like Sainsbury's and Tesco's. Or if you're overseas, if you're in the USA, I think Barnes and Noble stock it, places like that. Otherwise, you can get it on subscription, which is available, I think, pretty much worldwide. So, yeah. And the covers are really sort of nice. They're cardboard and they are matte effect, so you can also even colour in the outside covers. So, as you can see here, this is an example of Colin Thompson's work. I believe he does puzzles. So that's going to give you a clue of this type of style with lots of things to find. It's almost like a seek and find type illustrations. There's lots going on for you to keep your interest if you was doing a puzzle, or in this case a colouring book. So let's get inside. I will just quickly mention this inside front cover. So we do have a little bit about Colin Thompson here on the inside front cover, and then we also have Colouring Heaven's social media, including Friends of Colouring Heaven Facebook group. I'm in this group. It's a really good group. I can highly recommend it. It's very friendly and well moderated, and you know, people post their pictures there, and it's a good place to, you know, hang out with like-minded Colouring Heaven fans. And then lastly, we do have the colour combination chart where you can obviously put down your colour combinations. But if you have to put down your picture, because it's, let's be honest, it's unusual, well, unlikely that you'll be able to colour this whole picture in one sitting. If you have to put away your magazine, then you can keep a note of all the colours and pencils you've used in your pictures so that you can pick them up again when you come back. So, on to the first picture, which is a horizontal one. Now this one, Colin Thompson does actually already have a colouring book. Colouring Heaven have been knocking it out the park for me the last couple of months, because last month they published Dragonology. Now I literally had Dragonology in my Amazon cart to buy when the subscriber email comes through, and they give you a little sneak peek of what the next issue would be. And as I say, I literally had it in my Amazon cart to buy, so that was amazing. But I've also had this one on my wish list forever. And a lot of the illustrations are from the colouring book, I believe, but I think there's a few other ones in it as well. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to buy the book anymore, because there wasn't one particular issue, illustration that I was interested in. It was more this overall style. So I've got my fix from my Colouring Heaven. Anyway, so we have our bookshelf here. Obviously, if you look at that, you might be a little bit intimidated by this. I would say don't be, because like, it's a fantastic image, but break it down into little sections, because these are all small individual shelves. So either you could just go in and colour in one section at a time, and then, I mean, there's nothing intimidating about that little bit. Just do it one at a time. Or alternatively, you could just pick out a colour. Say, pick out a red and do like a red book here, a red book there, a red book. Do you know what I mean? Just break it down into small bite-sized parts. Like I say, these illustrations are from puzzles. So think of it, colouring as the same way as doing a puzzle. You have all the big pile of undone things at the start, but just by doing a little piece at a time, it will slowly build up the picture, and then at the end you're going to have a fantastic looking picture. I know a lot of people do this picture in the book with Inktense. It's very popular because it gives a really nice style with the grayscale. Anyway, I'm talking far too much. I will get on with the flip through. So that first one was called Bookshelf. I'll just mention here, look, they do tell you the names of the illustrations on the facing page. Okay, so this one is the library. There is a famous picture, isn't there? It's this staircase thing that's going in all different directions. I can't remember the name of the original, but you get the idea. So, but again, we've got all these little areas. Again, you can just break this down, rotate the page, got a little cat there and in an alley, do the door bit by bit. So this image is called Tree Town, for obviously reasons. We have all the trees coming up here. There's quite some dark grayscale down here, but I think there's, you know, it's meant to be quite, not gloomy, but you know, I get that feeling of a dark spooky forest type thing. This is like the dark spooky area, and then you've got the overworld up here with a random rabbit or something, I think, in that window. That's the nice thing about these illustrations. There are lots and lots and lots of hidden things in it, and it's one of those ones that the longer you look at it, the more you see, if that makes sense, because you find all these small little details. Now obviously if you don't like grayscale, then you might not be a fan of this book. I'm okay either way. I do everything. You know, don't let grayscale intimidate you though, even if you've never done it before. I mean, to be honest, if you're going to do this as well, alcohol markers, obviously put a blotting page in between, because alcohol markers will, you know, damage your picture underneath. But you could just straight colour with alcohol markers. Don't think about it, just go straight over the top with an alcohol marker, and all the shading is done for you, and it will look amazing. And you know, you don't have to do anything. And I think that's the trouble with grayscale. People get quite intimidated by grayscale, thinking they've got to do extra things with it, when in reality grayscale is actually easier, because all the shadow in all the shading and light effects and distance, you know, are all done for you. Okay, so this is another one. This is called Doors Open, and we've got lots of little sections here. So nice and easy to dip into. It's one of these types of pages where if you've got 10 minutes and don't have time to do much, you could literally just come in and do the seahorse. I love there's a seahorse there. There's an is that an octopus? No, it looks like an octopus tentacle there as well. But you know, you can just come in and do one little thing at a time. You don't have to tackle this as a whole picture at once. Bite sizes. Tiny, teeny, fun size bite sizes. Moving house. So we have a couple of, like, what are they? Not diggers, you know, dumper truck type things. But he's got a house in his clamp. Not one of my favourite ones, but it's a fun image, but it's not one of my favourites. But this is a book that even if you didn't colour it, you could look at it and think, yeah, I'm happy just looking at the picture. Little bird. We've got their paws there, but there's his tail, so he's sort of an upside down bear. I don't know if his head's anywhere, but yeah, he's like an upside down bear. Little Russian doll, little Pac-Man, bird. I'm not really sure how I'm going to tackle this book yet, because if I only do one picture, if I only start one picture, I'm never ever going to get to do any other pictures because I'm so slow. So I might do what Dee Dee Willingham does. I don't know if you've ever seen Dee Dee Willingham. I'll leave a link to her channel. But basically, I remember once she basically she says what she at the time she just picked up a green super tip, and she was like, when I'm sitting watching telly, I pick up a colouring book, and then I'll colour in some green trees on one page and flip the page in the colouring book, do the next page, do everything that's green in there, green slippers, you know. And this might be a fun book to do that in. Just pick up one colour at a time, and instead of focusing on one page, just flip through each page doing, say, I mean, there's some green leaves. I could just do green leaves on this page, and then once I've done that, wow, there's a lot going on. This one's called Too Loud. But you know, once I'd coloured in those green leaves, I just move on to the next page and look for something green in here. Okay, so we have a vertical illustration for once. This makes me think of Up, because he's got the little house underneath the balloon. But instead of balloons, we've got all little patchworks. But you could do it the same multicolours, couldn't you? That's called Up, Up and Away. This one is called Our House. So that's like one of these cut scenes. They've taken off the front of the house and we are seeing inside each room, which is pretty cool. And obviously you could just do one room at a time. And what's fun is you can see in between the floorboards and also underneath the floorboards on the bottom. There's like things buried in the ground and, you know, stuffed between. There's a mouse. Okay, so this one's called I Can See Our House From Here. Fairly obvious what that one's about. But this one's one of the more straightforward ones. It's mostly just rows of houses. Some guy has got an aeroplane parked in their back garden, as you do. And there seems to be the family who lived in a shoe, because that's their house. And then now we have got Grandma's Treasure, which is another one of these framed pictures. Each one has got a separate picture within a picture. This one is called The Hideout. So this is a sort of a forest scene. We've got the child sort of playing, he's playing camping out. He's got his backpack. But we've got a little hidden, a couple of them have got little rabbit people that live inside. We've got some bats. So yeah, we've even got something outside the frame as well. I'd be busy with my green colour on that one though, wouldn't I? So here we have the kitchen. So we have all the work units and everything. Really fun pictures. It's got a little mouse sleeping in the sardine can. And they've got their shoes outside. That's so cute. Yeah, you can tell that these have come from, you know, puzzles. So this one is called Blue Willow. So this is like that sort of old-fashioned, I mean, it's got all the crackle on it as if it's like the plates. So it's like the crackled glaze. And it's in a nice frame as well. Little koi carp. So that'll be fun. I've heard people already saying about how they're going to do this all in those sort of different shades of china blue and the like. This one is called Neverending Stories, and mostly these are books again, so we have lots of bookshelves. But again, we've got our little story, little scenes within a scene. We've got a tree with a tree house, and we've got a person here walking, like maybe an artist or something. Oh no, it's not a person. It's what is he? I don't know. I mean, he has got legs, but I don't think he's a human. He's a thing. Whatever. And then maybe he's one of them, which is like a sort of a mousy type thing. And we've got our house that's a shoe. Again, something that will be broken down into lots and lots of little sections to colour. So you can do multiple sections if you've got plenty of time, but it's a really good book for dipping in and out of. This one is called Red Box. Wow, so this one is a really, really busy one. This is called Our Town. And they're going swimming, and we've got a bridge going across there. Little bird. We've obviously got lots and lots and lots of building. A little guy in a bowler hat. You know, a plant is growing in there. This house is upside down. So, yeah, wow, that's a busy one. That will keep me quiet for a while. Christmas. If I start this for Christmas in July, I might finish this in 5 years' time. Who knows? Happy Christmas to all our puzzlers, though. But we've got teddy bears and clowns. Don't be too traumatised. Snow, polar bears, the works. Little Rudolph. Santa boots. Yeah, So we have the garden cupboard. So this is very sort of botanical. We have ferns, we've got the trees and vines, got a little, I've got some peas in a pod. What else have we got? Well, I mean, there's literally too much to see in like first glance. You've got to look at it bit by bit. There's some bees, an apple. Yeah. The inventor's cupboard. Wow, so this is a bit steampunky. Sorry about the motorbike if you can hear that on camera. He was very throaty exhaust. But yeah, this is quite steampunk. So we've got cogs, we've got like old-fashioned sort of dials, and yeah, the universal love and peace machine. Well, there you go. Or we have Professor Strabismus, oh, I can't say that, the amazing bacon converter. Now that sounds good to me. Armchair. So we've got an upright one here. We have a cat sitting on the back of the armchair, but the armchair back itself is a scene from the countryside. We have a cottage, and we've got the waterfall starts from the cat, goes through here and then trickles off, and we've got the carpet, and the floor is also the sort of the countryside, the landscape. It's a really cool picture, this, and perhaps one of the easier ones, because for a start it doesn't fill the whole page, but it's one of the more simple ones to tackle if you feel intimidated by some of the others. So here we have bedtime story. It's quite a nice frame. We've got Grandpa, I guess, in his bed. Makes me think a little bit of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because we have the child who's in the chair looking after the grandparent. And we have Focus. I don't know, he's a sort of experimenting, I suppose, because he looks like he's about to put something in there. Random woodpecker. Green fields. So this is another horizontal one. This is again one of the more easier ones, but we have the patchwork of sort of fields. If you are familiar with the UK landscape, you do get areas, well, maybe not up on top of the hills, but you do get this patchwork of fields, and then they've literally got a sort of patchwork quilt in the middle. Here we have Learning to Fly, and then they're doing a bit of a snowman scene flying through the air. But we have an odd mix of things, because we've got the paint palette, but we've got a laptop. You know, we've got a little kid rather precariously reaching for a balloon. That's not going to end well. What's this, like a cheese sandwich? Yeah. My front door. Not my front door. Promise you, I do not live in anything like that. But yeah, this is sort of very old English style of architecture. This is called On the Case. We've got our little man with a bowler hat again. That was a bit 80s, 90s. Look, we've got our big mobile phone here and a TDK cassette. Yeah. Oh, but that's almost like there's a different scene up the top for the travel. So we've got the Sydney Opera House, things like that. So we have our inventor again, who was in, what was it called, Focus. So this one's called Recipe. So again, he's concocting something that possibly might not be going too well, judging by them all screaming. This is the rotating bookshelf. So again, lots of books, but we've got a nice little Christmas tree in here. We've got a regular tree in here. We've got some guy on his motorbike. And he might be Santa. Look, he's got a bobble hat on and a sack. And it is under the Christmas tree. So that's probably Santa. And then we've got Humpty Dumpty sitting there in amongst the bookshelves. So I love things like that. I love seeing little hidden objects. But funny enough, I hate seeing the hidden objects in things like the Kirby books, because that feels really forced. It's like a picture and then the hidden objects are kind of added on afterwards, whereas this is fundamentally part of the picture. So I like it. So we have sleeping. Guy in his armchair. We've got a pair of eyes watching him. Oh, I love this one. Look at this. So this is Noah's Ark. Wow, I love this boat. He's got a little dinosaur in the dinghy though, in case he doesn't eat the others. Same with the elephant. Poor elephant doesn't get a say. But he's also a pirate ship. That's a fun picture. I like that one. Sweet dreams. And we have a nice bed here. The bed is made of wood, so the posts are still the trees. We have the junkyard. Another thing with lots of kind of broken items. So we've got the doll's head there, but there's trees growing out of it. Got a bird's nest, so it's all a bit rough. Spider. Yeah. So we have, this one's called The Towers, and it's like a tower made up of smaller towers, famous towers as well. So we've got, because we've got the Eiffel Tower there, that looks a bit, I'm not sure, it kind of looks like St Paul's. It's definitely the Leaning Tower of Pisa, just sticking off the top there. What else have we got I recognise? The San Francisco Bridge. Yeah, you get the idea. Famous towers and landmarks. Then we have treehouse. There's literally the house made under living at the top of the trees. There's his door in the bottom of the tree. That's a nice touch. I'm not sure why he's in the bath. But hey, it works. It works for them. Then we got upstairs. And this is really cool, these little miniature houses. A little door in the step. It's got a car parked there and everything. There's no place like home. And then just our last picture, which we have, which is called Waterfalls. So we do have the waterfall there coming down in here. I just see the one waterfall, I think. There is a very big one. And the books are built into the landscape, but we do have a giant pencil sharpener, as you do. So yeah, that is the last page. At the end we do get, I mentioned at the start that you can get Colouring Heaven via subscription, I think anywhere in the world. So it does tell you how to subscribe and what their current offer is. This one is 3 issues for £5. They do tend to vary their subscription issues, so if you didn't want that one, sometimes they give out things like pencil sets, or the current subscription I'm on was buy 1 year subscription, get the second free. So they do vary their subscription offers. So if, for instance, for some reason this one in particular didn't really suit you, then you don't have to wait too long, and then they change the subscription offer and it might be to something you prefer. I will leave a link to the Anthem publishing site so you can do your subscriptions. Also, they have something called Shop Anthem, which is where you can buy back issues. What I will say about that is if something is sold out on the Anthem shop, once it's gone, it's gone. I believe this is something to do with the licensing that they have with the artist. So if you see an issue that you really want, maybe don't delay, don't delay buying it, because it could just, they don't give any warning, it's just one day it's sold out and that's it. Then you can only get it from places like eBay or secondhand. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that flip through of Busy World Special from Colouring Heaven. So that was by Colin Thompson. As I say, probably not something that's everybody's cup of tea, but the people who would like it, or like illustrators like Kirby Rosanis or Joseph Kattenbank, these really sort of busy pages, you're gonna love this issue, and it's gonna be it's gonna be fun. Either doing one page at a time, or just like I say, I might tackle it, the book as a whole, as opposed to a single image. Anyway, if you found this flip through useful or enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a thumbs up, because that does help the channel. Or better yet, subscribe, and if you hit the bell, then you will get a notification of any time I upload new videos. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care and see you soon. Bye.